Mexican cuisine comes down to us from ancient times. Its ancestral roots are still the essence of today's cuisine, and its main ingredients are still corn, beans, and chili peppers. Mexico's generous biodiversity has generated this great cuisine with its varied flavors and endless forms of preparation. A universe of vegetables bursting with tomatoes, cacao, avocados, sweet potatoes, mushrooms, cacti, and many delicious kinds of animal protein. Chayotes, epazote, squash, and chili peppers of all textures and hues. But cooking is more than food from the earth. It is a creative act. It is charged with essential symbolism. It expresses the identity of a people. The first peoples of Mesoamerica domesticated maize about 8,000 years ago. With a culture based on agriculture, they built the great civilizations of what is now Mexico. They developed astronomy, literature, a complex understanding of the world and life, mathematics, and architecture of universal value. Many of these ancient peoples' most outstanding achievements are still current today. One of these is the gastronomical culture they created with their unique original products and the way of cooking them collectively. Traditional Mexican cooking and the traits of popular culture that distinguish it are part of a complex cultural system expressed through rituals, religiosity, and community life. Culinary customs pass down from generation to generation, becoming one with daily habits. This age-old knowledge is an essential part of ceremonies and rites that ensure community cohesion. Because of the symbolic value of food, the indigenous peoples have always conceived of maize as the beginning and end of humanity. The culinary culture is expressed around the family hearth and in public spaces like plazas, markets, local diners, and street stands. Food is present at birth and at death, at planting and at harvest. Mexican cuisine is a melting pot of ancient knowledge and agricultural products that survive not only in cornfields, in kitchens and on tables, but also in churches and cemeteries, in cradles, altars, and tombs, in prayers and indigenous and mestizo customs. Above all, culinary customs are a fundamental factor for social cohesion, a powerful ingredient of national identity, a testimony to historical continuity. Mexico's striking natural diversity makes it the fourth most megadiverse country in the world. It ranks among the world's top 3 most culturally diverse nations. Both these factors contribute to its outstanding cuisine. (1492) was a transcendental moment when culinary genes from other cultures incorporated elements from the entire known world into Mexico's original cuisine. But these contributions did not change the authenticity of the original cuisine in the communities nationwide. This continuity over time is due to the ever-present corn, beans, and chili peppers. This threesome is cultivated in a milpa, a field worked collectively. In the shelter of the milpa grow many kinds of tomatoes, squash, and 60 more species of foods native to the region. Even today, the milpa continues to be a model of self-sustainable agricultural production. To these wise cultivation practices, original culinary techniques are added, plus industrialized processes imposed by the march of time. Nixtamal, corn cooked in a chalk solution, is the basis for making tortillas, tamales, atole corn beverages, pozole hominy soups, and the infinite variety of flavors and forms of Mexican specialties. This technique for processing the corn, invented in Mexico thousands of years ago, adds nutrients and makes it more easily digestible. Yo soy como el chile verde llorona, picante pero sabroso. The chili pepper is a national icon and a fundamental flavor. It also aids nutrition because it makes it easier to digest the proteins in corn and beans. This is why the traditional Mexican diet has always been complete and balanced. All these ancient, authentic culinary practices survive in many regions of the country that have their own ways of cultivating, producing, and preparing food. The procedures, products, techniques, and utensils remain practically the same. The way of mixing chili peppers, tomatoes, vegetables, and spices for making salsas. The mole sauces with their sophisticated combinations. The cacao, avocados, and other delights Mexico has given the world. This great culinary cultural heritage must be preserved, so the communities that still treasure it must be protected. Communities that are fragile in the context of global trade, productive monopolies, environmental deterioration, impoverishment of rural areas, and the threat to small-scale agriculture. Equally at risk are culinary traditions and the community values they create, central factors that structure group relations and drive the development of local cultures. Safeguarding traditional Mexican cuisine in its cultural context requires taking energetic action individually, socially, and by government. This will be an example for other regions that want to guarantee the very survival of large populations and their surroundings.
Mi mamá, mi abuelita me enseñó a cocinar.
Esta comida viene desde los antepasados y es muy necesario que se la transmitamos a los hijos para que no se acabe esa tradición.
Mi mamá que le enseñó su abuelita, su mamá. Entonces yo al ver empezamos a aprender.
These women from Michoacan communities are not only great cooks, but a veritable model for safeguarding, recovering, and promoting traditional cuisine. This experience must be expanded to other parts of the country to protect the culinary heritage of each and every region. The defense of Mexico's traditional cuisine will be a driving force for the future development of cultural customs.